And as a massive snowstorm wreaks havoc up and down the East Coast, what better time to hold a global warming protest? All right, back to all the snow pounding the East Coast. Is this any time to hold a global warming protest? My next guest says there's no better time because this is global warming. Stephen Breel is with Greenpeace. And Steve, last time we were on, I was just saying how you guys like to have it both ways. If it's warm, it's global warming. If it's cold, it's global warming. I can't win with you guys.
Well, today turned out to be a pretty nice day, actually. The sun came out, and there's right now over 3,000 people in Washington, D.C. risking arrest in the largest action of civil disobedience, nonviolent civil disobedience against global warming in U.S. history, and it's inspiring. It really is.
But did you time it with a blizzard?
We ordered up the weather just like that. No, we didn't.
Okay, you know the reason why this confuses me because these climatic changes we have going on, maybe that's what they are, climatic changes. They have nothing with global warming per se, and that maybe what's happening is just something that shifts. And now, given the severity of this particular winter for a lot of folks in Mississippi, they're looking at a half a foot of snow, and they don't even know what that is, that maybe it's nothing more than that. No sinister cabal to destroy the earth by corporate America, just the earth going through a funk. And now it's cold again.
Well, you'd be hard-pressed to find a climate scientist or a physicist who agrees with that.
Actually, no. Actually, I've had dozens on this show, but that notwithstanding, what is it where in an argument, when I wasn't talking to you per se, Stephen, but one of your counterparts who said, I think last year, Neil, it was a fairly, mixed winter at the time. Get ready for warmer and warmer winters. Get ready for Florida to be, if you've got coastal property, for it to soon be underwater. Get ready to just wear your Bermuda shorts throughout the winter, which is not objectionable if it's a fashion statement. But my point is that didn't happen. There was a lot of shoveling going on, and people from Mississippi to Alabama to Georgia all the way up to Maine are probably seeing this global warming protest and saying, what?
Well, temperatures are, on average, getting warmer. Scientists have never predicted that global warming would mean that there's no more snow.
But wait a minute. This winter, at this point, is 1.7 degrees cooler than the last winter at this time. I don't know how to calculate that, but that's the latest info I have.
On average, worldwide temperatures are increasing.
But I just told you, this winter is almost 2 degrees colder worldwide than the last winter at this time. So are we talking collectively for a year? Are you going to tell me that being colder is just like being warmer? What?
Well, I don't think scientists would say that particular data point that you're singling out from all the broader temperature trends worldwide accurately leads to a conclusion that global warming doesn't exist.
All right, if there's a terrible snowstorm happening, a protest about global warming is going on somewhere, and today is no different. Now, with snowstorms causing problems all over the East Coast, the organization Capital Climate Action revved up to stage an act of mass civil disobedience at a coal-fired power plant in Washington. Now, it's all happening, and Susan Sarandon was there, and she billed it this way.
Gandhi, Martin Luther King. They were willing to stand up for what's right, even if it meant peacefully breaking the law. Civil disobedience can overcome great challenges, and global warming is the greatest challenge of our time. On March 2nd, thousands will come together in Washington, D.C. for a historic protest on the climate crisis. Many will continue our tradition of peaceful civil disobedience. The American people will take a stand at Congress's own coal-fired power plant, a glaring symbol of coal's hold over our government.
All right, take a look at the protesters carrying forth the legacy of Gandhi and Martin Luther King, shivering in the snow as they protest the Earth's rising temperature as a foot of snow falls. Now, maybe it's just a coincidence that nearly every global warming protest occurs on the exact same day that we have a major snowstorm, or maybe the big guy up there is trying to send a message to these people. We report, we'll let you decide. The environmental nutcases, first of all, they have a great idea. They don't like the idea of soft toilet tissue because it hurts the virgin forest. But that's number one. Number two, every time they have a global warming summit, or it snows.
No, right.
You like that, Coach?
I
cracks
know
me
where
up.
you're going. I tell you what. Hey, I'm just walking over here. I don't have a coat. I'm freezing. There's 8 inches of snow. And I said, thank God, global warming. I'd have really been cold.
Now it's the new ice age. Yeah, exactly.
No, you're right.
Wow, my
Well,
lucky.
it's hilarious because when you talk to the scientists, they said you could make the case just as much for global cooling, and that this stuff is just run amok. But I'll tell you what, Carol Browner in that White House,
And
buckle
Doug,
up.
by the way, Nancy Pelosi couldn't make it because of the snow.
Because of the snow.
I guess what I would say is I think there's global warming, but I worry about cap and trade as being a tax on
that's
carbon,
a big issue.
which is going to retard our
You
economy.
know what? You're too reasonable,
Yeah.
Democrat.
They're going to bail out the auto. They're
There's
going to
hope
bail
for
out
you.
the
A
auto
centrist
industry and then
Democrat
hit them with
who
cap
wants
and
to find
trade.
Two of the world's most credible scientists that disagree with Al Gore on global warming. And by the way, if you're in the New York area, well, if you're in half the country, they got a snowstorm. Aren't you sick of this global warming thing? Anyway, they're on tomorrow's radio program and in my free email newsletter. You don't want to miss these guys. You can sign up and find out all the information at glennbeck.com. And don't forget, set your TiVos and DVRs to watch the show all week, and make sure you tell your friends, 5 o'clock Eastern Time. Set your TiVos. This is the place to be.